welcome back to my channel. This is Divine Scarlett, and we have very beautiful, gorgeous, and amazing, talented, lovely artist, drag queen, Rimi Hart, aka Sudito. Hi, Rimi, how are
Hi,
you doing?
hi guys. I'm doing great. I mean, as much as you can in this lockdown.
What is your gender identity that you identify with, and what are the pronouns that you usually prefer?
Yeah, so I have thought about that a lot. What is my gender? I think like these days because you have a lot of different terms, which is great because now everyone gets to define who they are exactly.
Yeah.
But also it can be overwhelming at times because you're like, what am I? Like, am I trans? Am I gay? Am I both? Am I genderqueer, agender? And all of these terms, I never really quite felt any of these like defined my expression up until like I found this phrase called gender apathetic. Which I mean, I have a lot of apathy in general towards things. I just don't care for too many things. People seem too uptight in general, and which is
Yeah.
why I like drag. Right, gives you that opportunity to not give a damn.
True.
And that's been my sort of whole idea of gender as well. Has been my idea of gender and how I like to think of myself as. So when I saw gender apathetic, I was like, yeah, that's me. I don't care. I don't care what you call me. You can call me he, she, they, as long as you call me. Isn't that
Yeah. Call me, maybe.
right?
Okay, let's move on to your growth. How do you feel that your growing up has been from childhood to till now, or your self-expression of how you evolved from your gender in terms of gender? So, what is your growth or evolution uh, till now?
First birthday gift I got from my parents was a Barbie because I asked for it, and they gave it to me. I guess like I have been pretty lucky that way. Like my parents are not exactly uh, that critical of how I am and what my behavior is. It's always been sort of like, how well are you doing in school? I'm Bengali.
Right, right,
As a Bengali kid, they have always been, how much did you get in your maths exam? And that's uh, but yeah, and the Barbie that I got actually had blue clothes. So like for me, gender
wow.
has always been uh, topsy turvy all over the place. But
Mhm.
I sort of came into this, the thing you're looking at, which is glam, beauty, a lot of dots. I love dots on my face.
Oh, I love
This
glitter.
sort of
Oh my
happened around, yeah, since I started drag. Um, Before that, I was very uncomfortable in my body.
God.
I don't know what came over me. I did drag for the first time and I was like, fuck it. Like, this is like the kind of release that you have. That
Mm.
was everything. Like, that changed my life forever.
So in a
And
way,
then,
you can say it took off the burden or weight that you were carrying around.
yeah, totally. It was very like, because like if you're growing up and you're not necessarily mask or femme, you get picked on a lot. You're like, you're
Yeah,
not mask enough for the girls, for the guys, and then you're not femme enough for the girls. It's
yeah,
like you're sort of like, where are you? Uh, but then like when I got on stage in drag, I didn't have to care about any of that. Like I was just living in front of the lights with high heels and singing,
yeah,
and I it didn't even cross my head like, oh my god, is my wrist loose? Do I have female inflection in my voice? Because girl, I don't know if that happens to you. Have you like done
yeah.
Uber drivers every damn time? They're like, ma'am, kaha pe jana hai? Like, I'm like, okay. I guess I have a naturally high voice, but I never hear sir. It's always ma'am. So all of that was gone as soon as I started doing drag, uh, and it's been a journey since then to try out different things. You know, look at
Hmm.
beauty, explore makeup, explore clothing. Uh, yeah, and here I am.
Well, you have been fabulous, and you have grown more fabulous from early years. So definitely, I would like to point out that that this is one of the beauty of accepting one's gender identity, even if they are not sure what gender identity they belong to. But the beauty of it is that you feel liberated, you feel happy, you are less burdened about thinking of who you are, what you are, and you can focus on other things like what you want to do or what you would like to do. So
Totally.
definitely, I mean, that's one of the most beautiful things that you can experience. Coming to your professional life, I would like to know, or I would like people to understand how your journey has been. Do you feel that your gender expression or gender identity has been any kind of hindrance during your performances, or any kind of bullying or harassment that has happened?
I work as a software engineer. I don't know if a lot of people know that. I mean, most people know me as Rimi Hart, singer, whatever,
Yeah.
brash, diva, uh, mean,
Queen.
and mean. No, but my day job is of a software engineer. I code for a living, so I do have a corporate job. The good thing about software is that there are no such clothing restrictions. Like, there's no such that you have to be in a suit or formals and all of that. It's
Mm,
very show up, do your work, go home.
right.
Which is good and bad in a way because good in a way that no one really cares. Like, I have had pink hair, I've had green hair. I go to office, I have piercings. People talk. I mean, let's be clear, like, because no one is doing this, uh, but I haven't really faced any discrimination that way. But I do find myself every now and then thinking, am I going too far? Like,
Right.
I would love to wear eyeliner to work. I love eyeliner, but I haven't done it yet because I'm like, I don't know. Do I want to really push these people? They have been so nice to me. I don't feel like I feel uncomfortable not wearing eyeliner. So it's not like I'm in a position where I have to consciously suppress my gender
Mm,
identity. So that's
mm,
pretty good. The bad thing is that people are sort of in software. They're sort of they stay to themselves. They do their job. So there's
mm,
not a lot of people feel comfortable asking questions, right? Like,
right.
I've heard from my girlfriends, like I have a gang of girls in
Mm,
obviously in office, and they
right.
tell me that their colleagues ask them about me. Yeah.
Perfect. And any particular anecdote that you would like to that you can think of where your gender identity became a trouble, and it was a tough time for you. Any particular anecdote that you feel that you would like to share?
Okay. So let me say this to begin, like to preface it, that overall, mm, I've had mostly positive reactions from people. Like, I'm out to my parents, not as a drag queen yet, uh, but as a very, very gay person. Uh, I am out to all my friends. I dress up pretty uh, outside the norms. Uh, I make up, so it's been pretty good. But I want to bring this up because, like, also right now there's this huge conversation going on in the U.S. about the the police force and cops in general, like misusing their power. I was going out for a photo shoot with a
Mm,
friend of mine from NID. He was like, you know, uh, it was nighttime photo shoot. Like, we
right.
were supposed to do some sort of like UV light, photo shoot in the night in an open space. So,
Right.
uh, so he
Mm,
picks me up at like 1. We're heading towards the airport in Bangalore, which is kind of a little far away from the city. Uh,
mm,
and there's a lot of like open areas there where you could do a good shoot, right?
Right.
We reached the toll. Usually that's where you have to like stop the car, pay, and cross. And there's usually some police there. As soon as we reach, and one of the police persons like notices me, uh, and I was not in obviously in wig, so I was sort of like mid-gender, and it confused him. And he decides to like ask us to park the car next
Right.
to After that, what happened was one of the most frightening, horrifying, harassing incidents of my life. We got stuck there. I mean, we were stopped there for about an hour. That guy called another like 4 to 5 of his police colleagues, and they all kept circling the car, looking at me, talking about whether it was a guy or a girl, saying a lot of things in Kannada that I did not understand. But my photographer guy said, like, it's good that you don't understand. Um, the, my photographer guy who was driving the car got down, started arguing with him, searched him, pat him down, opened the dicky, like opened all of his gear, like undid all of his photography gear to find some sort of drugs, And while he's like arguing outside, I can see all of them like looking at me from
Right.
outside the car. And I was smart enough to not step out. I was just like, I'm not gonna show any fear. I'm just gonna sit here like a bougie bitch. So that's the vibe I tried to give. At one point, one of the police officers entered the car while I was sitting there, tried to drive off, which was very horrifying. They were like,
Okay.
they accused us of doing sex work or prostitution. I don't know. They were just throwing out words, like, So they took my Aadhaar card. So first they asked me whether I was a boy or a girl, and I said it was boy. And then a lot of talk again. Then someone asked me for my Aadhaar card. They took it, like mashed it next to my face, like put it next to my face, and be like, you know, like, you know, and
You don't look like that.
yeah, and then it was. Yeah, I was like really scared that if they took us to the police station, like this is embarrassing enough, but I was like in fishnets and lingerie kind of a thing. I did not want to walk around in a police station looking like that. Uh, so after a while, they extorted, they argued, they shouted at this poor fellow, uh, and took all the money that we had. We had about like 2-3 thousand in cash, took everything, and then finally let us go. This was like almost like
Right.
uh, so that was pretty much one of the most uh, horrifying experiences. And
Yeah.
I want to say, like, it's really unfortunate in today's world that we cannot trust the people that are there to protect us,
Right.
and it is just how it is. You know, we made a bit of progress with 377, but then the trans bill got it. Like we're like in this constant state of like pull and push uh,
Yeah.
and uh, and always vulnerable for extortion and uh, humiliation. We face fears. Like I personally have this huge fear of getting kicked out of my apartment. Where I stay by myself. I have to go out and drag sometimes, and it's crowded cities, and people can see.
Yeah.
So I'm always scared that who knows, like who's gonna rat me out and be like, you have given your house to like a sex worker or like uh, deviant, uh, and it's gonna get me homeless.
I'm really glad that you shared that anecdote, and it's definitely something that our society needs to think about and work upon. So let's hope for a better future. I believe that it's time for us to wrap it up. But I'm really glad that you came onto our show, and it was a pleasure and an honor to have you. If we had any extra minutes, I would have asked you to sing a song. But
I did.
uh, Rimi's Instagram ID is going to be mentioned in the description below, and the link will be there. Please follow her, check her, performances. You will love all the things that she does. So I'm pretty sure you will enjoy her performances in the shows as much as I do, for sure. Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us and watching this video. I hope you all loved it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Share your comments. If you have any suggestions or any kind of, feedback, do share it. And do subscribe the channel. Ask your friends to subscribe the channel so that we can reach out to more and more and more people, for sure. Because it's important for us to speak about the people who are not talked about.
Absolutely, and I wish you all the best for your channel. Saw a couple of the videos and I was like, I have to be on it. And I think just like put me on. I have a story to share. I have a beautiful makeup look to feature. And here we are. Thank you, dear.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot. And now I'm going to take a leave from all the viewers. I hope you all have a wonderful day ahead. Enjoy your lockdown. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.